dropped these black balls instead of bombs from planes, the world would change dramatically. In fact, hundreds of thousands of these balls are distributed to the public every year in Kenya. Children throw them with slingshots. Tourists toss them from planes, and people pass them around. Each ball contains a tree seed coated with a protective layer, preventing birds from eating the seed when it's thrown. When the rain falls on these balls, the protective layer dissolves, allowing the seed to germinate and bringing life back to thousands of acres of land. In the olden days, before printers existed, people used an ingenious method for printing. They would glue a thin cloth to a stone mold and then spread the color onto the cloth using a brush. The top layer of the cloth absorbed the color, while the bottom remained untouched. This process transferred the shape of the stone onto the cloth, creating a print. Did you know that the red paint under large ships is highly toxic and kills many marine organisms? So, why is it used? This paint contains copper oxide, which prevents barnacles and algae from sticking to the ship's hull. Without it, these organisms would attach to the bottom, slowing the ship down, wasting fuel, and increasing maintenance costs. Although effective, this paint has a downside. It also harms other marine life in the water. If you thought snakes only have 2 fangs to inject venom into their prey, think again. When a man covered half of a snake's mouth with plastic, it revealed just how many teeth the snake actually has. These teeth play a crucial role in gripping and holding on to prey, ensuring it can't escape. This telephone has been responsible for the deaths of millions of people, earning it the reputation of being one of the most destructive weapons in history. It was sold for $250,000 at an auction in 2017. But what makes this telephone so dangerous? The answer lies in the name inscribed on the back, that of its infamous owner. During World War II, this individual used the phone to issue commands that ultimately led to the deaths of millions of innocent people. Such animals, which are not visible even in front of the eyes. Number 1, caterpillar. If you watch this video carefully, you will see something on the leaf. Actually, it is a caterpillar whose color matches with the background in such a way that if it does not move, you will never see it. Gnome 2, yellow ball python. Although this snake is a species of python, but due to the yellow and black marks on its body, if you keep it with a banana, no one will be able to recognize it. Number 3, leptoscelephus. This fish is completely transparent from head to toe, except its eyes, or it is only visible when it moves gracefully. This trick will ensure your bicycle is never stolen. You might have noticed that thieves often steal a bike in just a few seconds, leaving you helpless. That's why this anti-theft seat has been designed. When the screw beneath the seat is loosened, the anti-theft mode activates. If a thief tries to ride off with the bike, they're in for a surprise. Just remember to tighten the screw before you start riding. Otherwise, this man is one of China's most remarkable hidden artists, known for his incredible ability to paint his entire body and blend seamlessly into any environment. The amazing part is that he stands in front of various settings and meticulously paints his body, clothes, and even his face to match the background. In no time, he disappears into the surroundings so perfectly that you can barely notice him. Isn't that fascinating? If a sticky white substance ever starts coming out of your coconut, here's what it means. Typically, when we break open a coconut, we expect water to flow out. However, in rare cases, about 1 or 2 coconuts out of 1,000, a thick, gooey substance is found instead. This substance is actually the abnormal endosperm of the coconut. Such coconuts are called Makapuno coconuts. They are incredibly rare and highly sought after, so if you come across one, make sure to enjoy it right away. This will blow your mind. Your body is 99.9% empty space. Sounds crazy, right? But it's true. Atoms, the tiny building blocks of everything, are almost entirely empty inside. If we squeeze out all the empty space in your body, you'd shrink down to the size of a grain of salt. And get this, if we did the same to every human on Earth, the entire human race would fit inside a single sugar cube. So are we even real, or just an illusion of solid matter? Comment below. Are we living in a simulation? Discover how Chinese artists create expensive art using fish. First, they carefully paint the entire fish with a brush. Then, they press a white sheet onto the painted fish. After some finishing touches, when the sheet is lifted, a stunning piece of art is revealed.
Wow.
This unique technique produces artwork worth millions. You can play this game with a geisha, and it's called Kompira Fune Fune, a traditional Japanese party game. Here's how to play. If a bowl or box is placed on the table, you need to tap it with an open hand and flat fingers. However, if the other player picks it up, you must make a fist and tap the table instead. If you break this rule, for example, tapping an empty table with an open hand instead of a fist, you're out. This game is tricky because it's almost impossible to defeat the geisha. But if you're as lucky as this guy, you might stand a chance. It's so much fun. When forging steel, you might have noticed black spots forming on its surface, which fall off naturally when the steel is pressed or heated. These black spots are slag, formed when red-hot steel reacts with oxygen in the air, creating an oxide layer that damages the steel's thin outer surface. Repeatedly turning and forging steel with this oxide layer can weaken it significantly. To prevent oxidation, we can't eliminate oxygen from the air, but there's a simple solution. Sprinkle borax powder on the steel when it is red hot. Borax melts and acts as a protective barrier, preventing oxidation. It also dissolves any existing oxide layer, ensuring that the steel remains intact and the layers bond effectively. This process helps preserve the quality of the steel and strengthens its structure. This is James Bond's pistol, which caused significant havoc in the 1900s. It had a capacity of 7 bullets and could be fired with the pressure of the palm. The pistol was compact enough to fit easily in the palm of the hand, which is why it was called a palm pistol. People often concealed it in their pockets, and when needed, they would use it to shoot, just like James Bond. How can one piece fit perfectly into both a bigger spot and a smaller spot? When this girl places the piece in the bigger spot, it fits perfectly. But when she moves it to the smaller spot, it still fits. This is called the Jastrow illusion. It happens with 2 curved shapes that are the same size but look different. You can see the same trick with toy train tracks. When stacked, they match perfectly, but side by side, one looks bigger. This is because your brain focuses on the edges and gets tricked into thinking they're different sizes, even though they're not.
3 crazy human body facts you didn't know. Number 1, your brain can generate enough electricity to power a small light bulb. Number 2, your heart beats over 100,000 times a day. That's more than 35 million times a year. Number 3, your eyes can distinguish about 10 million different colors. That's insane. The human body is wild. Which fact surprised you most? Tell me below. First, it was 3D art. Now it's 3D homes? Wait, what? In today's world, almost everything is going 3D. We've seen 3D leaf printing and even detailed 3D sculptures. But now, the game has changed. There's a new kind of machine that doesn't just print, it can build your entire house using 3D printing. Yes, you heard that right. This machine prints walls, roofs, and even custom designs, layer by layer, using special concrete. And here's the crazy part. It can build a whole house in just 24 hours. Forget bricks and labor.
You've never seen aiming like this before. First, he aims with an axe, then switches to a knife. His aim is so precise that the knife strikes the axe perfectly. But the crowd is even more amazed when he pulls out a small ring made from the same knife. He throws the ring into the air, and just as it reaches its peak, the knife hits the ring perfectly. This man deserves a like for his skills. If the government dropped these black